Hey, what's up guys, Mikas here for the EDM Sessions. Episode 84, we continue on this series where we're mastering track. This track has previously been composed in one episode, it's been arranged and mixed into a second episode, and finally in the third episode I am actually mastering it. In between the process of arranging and mixing the track, I also put in quite a few more hours to make it a really releasable track that I would release, that I will actually release on our record label, Progressive Grooves Records. The track is called Nemesis. It's one of my latest. It's a progressive techno track, 120 BPM, really pumpy, really interesting track. It's for me the incarnation of what I listen to a lot. Max Graham with his podcast Cycle. Listen to that when I'm running. So it's really techno, darker, but it has a progressive edge to it. So you could also put it into progressive house. It's just really pretty much in between. What are the EDM session? Is simple. Either I compose, mix, arrange, or master some music with you guys in real time with the producer POV, and of course all the projects that I'm making, that I'm putting on YouTube, all go on our site wemakdancemusic.com. We already have over 5,500 DAW templates with producers from all around the world who upload. So if you produce music and you advance and you want to share it, you can upload templates, sounds and everything. We're Marketplace, check it out. So let's get started in this mastering project for today. Again, of course, master 32 bits, 96 kilohertz. The DAW is set, of course, as 96 kilohertz. We're using only Waves plugins, except for one EQ that is not Waves that I'm probably not even going to use. So that's it, guys. I got a track laid in front here, and I am mastering strictly with headphones for the purpose of this video, because usually I would listen to the speakers. You know, I would probably listen with some little earbuds. But it's not gonna work for you guys to listen, so I will go straight up to the headphones. I trust my mastering chain. I mastered a lot of tracks like this in headphones, so I will have a listen in the speakers to make sure it's sure before it get onto distribution for release. But for now, I think we're good. I always start this mastering chain with simple, very little low cut, and of course some gain staging. So I want to have maximum input into the other plugin, and for that I use this. There's an auto gain here, so I'm going to start it. I'm going to play you a bit of the track, guys. So there's really this airy kind of feel, and there's still this techno kind of thing, but it's a bit like next level techno, I would call it. I mean, you know, without pretending it's better than techno, is just the evolution of techno, which was already there in 2009 when we released Nika's Temperamental Manuel de la Mare remix, which made #1 of techno for such a long time, and it was very progressive techno, you know. That was the start of the wave of more intense techno. People love it. Check it out, Nika's Temperamental Manuel de la Mare remix. I'm going to forward a bit. So right now, completely flat, no processing. This is how I mixed it. I tend to put the kick a little bit forward. Oh wow, this is news. This is very uninteresting, I would say. I'm only running a track and the system too slow. Thank you, Apple. Let's look at this CPU thing. There's nothing happening there. Lots of arrangements in there. To me, definitely need a mastering. The kick is too punchy. I'm really gonna tame it down. Some nice risers in there. If you guys like it, smash that like button. If you don't like it, smash the dislike button. Yo. Ooh, that is the stuff. Definitely looking forward to release this compilation. So all the track that we produce, arrange, mix, and master, all gonna go into this compilation sessions for me, because. So this is the track, guys. So we're gonna master starting probably here. So I'm going to take a part of the track which is very loud to really gauge everything. So I usually do that. So the rest of the track will still compress properly, but when we are at the peak, I want to make sure it's not over compressing, because if you set your mastering in a lower part, when you're going to get to the main part, you might not have the same effect. So this is why I am actually taking this. Okay, so we're gonna start with this. Like I said earlier, there's auto gain here, so I'm gonna crank it up and then I will drop it. So we have 3 dB of gain so far. I know it's gonna drop when it's gonna get into the loudest part. So it's just to make sure that the signal that goes to this next plugin here, which is a VEQ, which doesn't sound quite right. Oh, there's somehow something moved there. Okay, I didn't do that. I don't remember doing that, at least. So this was usually 0.5 of gain here. So again, out of this, no clipping, of course, maximum input into this. Then here, if we have room, you can try depending on the signal. It will always depend. I want to make sure that nothing is clipping all the way through the track, so we're gonna have to run the full track to make sure there's no clipping anywhere. But you still want to be in the upper limit, of course. So I got a linear EQ, which I will not use. I want the kick to be compressed. That's about it. So I'm gonna start processing more here with the L2 with just 2 dB of reduction. Out ceiling can be 0 in this mastering chain, so at this point. Then we're going right away with the first instance of LIN MB. I said the first instance because we have 2 of these in the mix. Make sure we're not clipping again. Let me put a bit more of the track in there. So we got this segment here which is pretty loud, the risers. So the first instance of LIN MB is like more open, more adaptive, electro. The range is much higher. The second one is much narrower and much tighter. So first we do a processing here. It's gonna catch quite a bit of the kick already. It's looking pretty clean. Maybe a little bit more. And again, auto gain here, auto trim, or auto gain if you like. Very useful function. You can see here, as I'm progressing to the track, the LUFS will go up a little bit. You're gonna have the appearance that the track is getting louder and louder and louder, but it actually is very minimally getting louder, that it's more compressed, it's more in your face. But we're not really slamming it with any plugin, which I do on every of those mastering shows if you watch the other ones, so you're gonna see. Gonna continue with an API 2500. This I like for the low end mainly. Here. Tiny bit, 1.5, maybe 2 at the most dB of compression, containing the kick, make everything tight. You can hear from the start with this track, the kick was really over. I really made it intentionally really punchy, and now I'm taming it down. It will still have the presence, but it will fit within the track. It will not exceed and really like destroy the speakers, I'd like to say. Alright, let's keep on going. Because we are on a techno progressivity track, I'm gonna use this SSLG channel for the character, a little bit for the stereo image, because there's somehow some processing that I cannot really understand. But for me, boom, put it on, boost a little bit at around 550 Hertz to get like some chunkiness, and right away after this I'm still processing the stereo image and a bit of the smooth distortion quality. So I'm going there, adding this center with, without. To me it creates such a presence. It's just rounding up the sound into the ears. It's amazing. On speakers the difference is even more major. This is quite a plugin. You gotta use that. Gonna adjust a little bit the gain. Let's see here, make sure we're not clipping. Got a Kramer Tape here, which I use a little bit again on this track. It depends on the track. For this track I will use the full chain. Oh yeah. Like this loudness a bit less, I would say. Track is coming in a bit hot in there, so. So again, those are all incremental changes that make the track seem louder, but we're still at -14, you know, so we're not quite peaking anywhere. And then an SSL comp, which will do a good job on the low end and also the top. So this compressor I like because it does more than just compressing. It really put things together. You can read reviews about it. Legendary. This is the Waves version. I have to be honest, with the SSL, the Apollo, there's another version that is a bit more refined, that really get this gluing, you know, but we're working with Waves, so you can easily download this chain if you got Waves plugins, Wave goals, packet, the demos and stuff. You can really use it, and this is a really good compressor to have. So we're gonna go back into the start of the track to listen a little bit now that we're getting into the last stages of the mastering. I'm gonna go where the bass comes in, I think here. Oh, let's listen to this a little bit. Oh, nice drums. I think I'm clipping here on the out of that, which is normal because I get a bit more gain after. Nice like Moog style bass, which I made, so I mean. Okay, so clipping a little bit out, going out of this SSLG channel, SSL comp, sorry. So we're gonna bring it down to 0, make sure there's no clipping in the gain staging. Here I just added like a low body, like kind of like a brassy, like boo boo. That would be hard to feel on speakers, but I know on the dance floor this will have like a really strong effect. Sorry guys. Okay, next stage. I'm gonna go back into our main part here. Gonna initiate this second LIN MB. See that the reduction is almost none without. To me, this put everything into place. You know, both together, really clean, very contained sound, perfect for any speakers, headphones. This is very helpful what it can do in one step. Because the bands are links together, so they will have to correlate, so there's not going to be something that's really gonna go out of bound, you know. So it's important to do that in mastering, so the track is not all over the place. Unless you do dubstep or some weird stuff like that, then I don't know, I don't think I would master these. Again, we still have room. Gonna go into, I'm gonna check how far we're in. Okay, we're good. So we're gonna go into that last step of mastering, which is to add loudness. You know, loudness is important for DJs to listen to for different purpose. It is not necessary. While it is important, it's not necessary. I apply it because it is the standard in electronic music to have all the tracks super loud, so when people listen to samples on Beatport, your track not necessarily stand out, but at least is equal to others. So I know that some people would not agree with me, but this is needed. I've run a label for 15 years or more, and if your tracks are not as loud as the rest, they will not compete, just simply because you have to crack up the volume. It's a bit absurd, but this is the way it is. So with loudness, there's a simple way to do it. You turn it on, you set those two to equal, minus 0.2, which is the threshold for output, to make sure you don't have clipping and artifacts. And then you pull this little thing in the middle and you pull both at the same time. So we're gonna see where we can take it without having some distortion or losing some signal in the low end. So you do without and with. There shouldn't be much difference. And then you go lower your volume, guys, because it's gonna go up. You go like this. Lower mine here. So now we brought it up. -9. You know, this is good for the track in this category. It has to have the punch. Still have some dynamic range. Just feel a lot closer, of course, because it's all maximized. Make sure you're not clipping here. I'm gonna go back to the start, listen to the whole track now that we have all of the elements in. Maybe I'm gonna comment a little, maybe not. I want you guys to see everything that is happening. So this is first. So these go here. This is the very last here, important. This here is our cue for loudness and EQ. I didn't go really heavy, but I know that's gonna be loud enough to sound good on Beatport, to have that punch. So let's have a listen, guys. listen to it mastered. Big sound. Oh, I have it clipping here. Make sure to trim it. Just half a dB, but guys, wow, this is intense. I'm totally tripping. Didn't say so much because I don't really have much to say about this. It's good, it sounds good. It's gonna be released pretty soon, probably in May, on the label Progressive Grooves Records. And of course, this is also available as a template on wemake-music.com. And there I don't even use a single plugin. This is all Logic Pro, which is a feat for me. I'm just perfecting my craft just to make the best music strictly out of Logic Pro and Alchemy, which is an insane synth. So that's it, guys. This was episode 84 of the EDM session, and until next time.